Guys, CP, the Average Blaker here, making another video, and today we're going to talk about two things, maybe three. It's hard for me to stay on task here. Everything that's going on in the world, guys, I'm going to try to stay anti-political as possible, just because the simple fact is that it doesn't do me any good, because, quite frankly, what's going on politically and everything, it's so controversial that we're going to get censored if we talk about it. So I'm going to try to stick to the basics. Unfortunately, I'm censoring myself, I guess, by saying that, because that's not me, and that's not what I really want to talk about. But we're going to try to stick to some things that can help people out the best, to my knowledge, and what I've done. Now, we've talked about dry fire and reloads on the last video. Or dry fire and reloading, which reloading, guys, I'm going to tell you, we're going to kick right off into the reloading, and we're going to talk about my ammo. I showed some people, if you haven't got into reloading, you need to look into it. Unfortunately, I can't really show stuff, but I can answer questions. So you're more than welcome to ask me any questions about reloading. I've been reloading for 10 years. I have a mountain of data. For some pistols. I have a really good 9mm load round that I really like, and it works in pretty much everything I shoot. And that is this here gem. This is a 147 grain flat point that I use with Tight Group, Hodgkin Tight Group. It is a heavier 9mm bullet, but you notice the conjugal tip, cone-shaped tip. It's flat point or kind of a semi-wad cutter. And what the difference is between a semi-wad cutter, let me get that. A lot of different ammo types out there. So this is a 45 caliber semi-wad cutter, and I really enjoy these. And this is a 200 grain semi-wad cutter, 45, loaded with Vita Fiore powder, which I really enjoy that be a powder. Shoot that a lot with my 45 stuff. This is a flat point 40 or kind of a semi-wad cutter. This is just a lead round. These are my dummy rounds. I don't shoot much lead. Another good topic is people get concerned about lead fouling. I just had this conversation with another person. I really don't. I mean, there's a lot of misconceptions, guys, and I'm going to tell you, if you've never lead fouled a gun, chances are you're not going to lead foul a gun, unless you've lead fouled one. I clean my guns. That's the simple fact of that. Here is also a hollow point, which is also known for defense round, and then we have round nose. This is my 40 cal round nose, and those are pretty standard. Ball ammo is pretty much different. Now you notice mine are coated. These are polymer coated ammos, not your typical ball, because I buy loading ammo. Why do I do that? Well, it's cheaper, and honestly, nowadays, this to me is the best option for you. Now, granted, I shoot a lot of competition, so it's. But if you don't have access to reloading, I understand. Sorry, but with these polymer coated bullets, lead bullets, now it definitely saves money for getting into reloading. So, I'm not going to touch too much on it. You can ask some questions, and hopefully we'll spin off some more videos. This is Wheel Gun Wednesday, so I am going to show you one wheel gun. Also as a bonus, and that is my Ruger GP100 Match Champion. This has a very, very nice, which I've had the trigger done. I've had the cylinder cut for moon clips. I love the grip on it. I don't have any chance of changing this. I don't have any knowledge, or I don't have any inclination to change it. I really like this gun. It was kind of expensive, but it's a 357. Also shoots 38 special. Give you a good close-up look at it. And I'm just going to tell you, with the sights on it, the barrel crowning, I like the barrel crowning on this a lot. I like how this slug comes down like this. The older GP, or the GP100s, don't have this. This is obviously a little bit special gun. These came out. It does not hurt to dry fire these. A lot of guys will tell you it does over the period of time. It's another myth. We're going to talk about that real quick, because I had a couple people that were asking me. Revolvers are a little bit more finicky. I don't tend to do as much dry fire on my revolvers, But I do dry fire them. I've never had an issue. A lot of the reasons why dry fire became a big deal was because of rimfire, mostly. Rimfire cartridges fire on the edge of the case. If you look at the barrel of a rimfire, that would be where the firing pin would actually hit. Whereas a center fire cartridge, sorry about the cough, is going to fire down the center of the barrel. The only thing that you would have a chance of damaging, and it possibly could damage, would be the breech face, which I have heard of it happening, but I'm going to tell you this much. The amount of dry firing that it took was absolutely ridiculous. A guy that I know that lives in Illinois dry fired his Glock and broke his breech face, and he claims that he had close to 100,000 hours on it before he actually cracked it. And when you crack it, that doesn't mean it'll actually stop working neither. A crack could just be a crack, and it's not broken half. I doubt you'll ever break a breech face in a gun, which I'm not going to give you 100%, but I doubt anybody will ever break one fully in half by dry firing. You don't have that kind of tension on it. The way I was always been told, and trust me, I dry fire a lot. Never had a problem with my guns with any of that, but the way I was always told is that rimfire, well, they do have stops. They do have stops on a lot of rimfire guns now, so they won't meet the barrel now, but I still don't rimfire or recommend dry firing rimfire unless the manufacturers say that it's okay. I'm not going to, but on 1911s, I do. Now, another thing is, too, I noticed the other day, I handed this to a buddy of mine, and he let the slide slam shut. On 1911s, I've been told by several gunsmiths, by not having a mag in here and letting your slide slam shut on a 1911 or 2011 style gun or anything with a sear in it, you have a chance of chipping the sear from that coming forward. Because it's hitting the disconnector and you can chip the sear. So that's one thing that I would definitely not do. And it's all you have to do is just ride the slide shut. When you rack it, dry fire, rack it, dry fire, rack it. You don't have to let it slam shut. So it's kind of a moot point and not a big issue. So those are a couple of the things that I wanted to touch base on with people. Was a little bit of dry firing myths that, it's not necessary. Some loading types of ammo. I should go into depth more. I don't know I kind of want to get the feel for what you guys want to hear. So I really need your input. I'm really begging for your input here on what you want, because I have so much information to give, but I don't know how to give it to you guys all at once or stay focused on that right now. I can tell you another thing is ammo shortage. Dealing with this ammo shortage and talking about going into reloading, I can tell you this much, guys. If you're already looking for ammo, you're too late. That's just the long and short of it. I went through this before and I was unprepared. And it sucks. And the only thing I can say is you got to find a routine that works for you. Now, my method is that I don't usually typically buy online, but a lot of online places have notifications when it's in stock. So that is, if you're trying to buy ammo and you can't reload, definitely pay attention to those online ones. I'm not going to give you any pointers because I have a lot of friends that I do give advice to share these places. And I just don't feel like I want to give up my sources. I know a couple of spots and, to get ammo that are pretty good. But those are something that you have to look for. Now, the gouging of the ammo prices, I highly recommend it. Here's the thing. I don't recommend you buying ammo right now at gouged prices. I'm going to tell you that right now. To alleviate any problems, just don't buy it. If you've got a couple hundred rounds, then save it and treat that stuff like gold. In fact, this stuff's like currency right now, in my opinion. The best thing you can do is wait. It's not worth it right now to go out and run out and get the ammo and panic buy. I can't stress that enough. You're just wasting your time. That's how I feel. That's my honest to God's opinion. I feel like you're wasting time, and just wait. Save your money. Wait, and that's all I can tell you to do. Buy a reloader. Start looking and getting into reloading and learning how to reload. I will definitely help anybody out to reload that I can. I do a lot of handgun ammo, not a huge rifle ammo reloader, so keep that in mind. But I can definitely help you figure it out because it's not much different, just more powder and some different measurements. So it's not like it's not like I'm worried about like I couldn't reload it. I just don't need to reload it. I have I have plenty of ammo. I don't. First of all, you can only carry so much. Okay, so if you are trying to buy an ammo or find ammo, you can only carry so much if you're worried about having to go on the run or something like that. I just don't feel like it's worth panic buying right now because this is what's doing. It's driving the cost up. It's driving the demand up, and it's not worth it. And you guys that are doing it, it's repetitive. I've seen this happen 2 or 3 times now. Why? Okay, stop panic buying ammo. Learn to buy ammo and shoot it and save it properly and get yourself on a good regiment so that you're always ahead. Okay? I don't know why this is such a tough deal. I have to have so much ammo for me to shoot competitions, and that's why I keep what I keep on hand, because I don't want to go through this, and I've been through it. So now I know what I go through. I know what I shoot normally, and it's high. I shoot 30,000 rounds a year. Some of you might say it's wasteful. During an ammo crisis, this is also a good discipline to practice. Find yourself a revolver, maybe some 38 special. Start shooting with a revolver. People, I don't find revolvers to be the most greatest carry guns because they do malfunction. Okay, first of all, they can misfire. Yes, you can just pull the trigger and go to the next one, but now you're down 5 rounds in a defensive situation. I don't think of these as being the greatest, but you can reload them fast, and I do reload this fast, especially with moon clips. Moon clips are definitely the way to go. If you're going to be a defensive revolver pistol guy, I would definitely say that carrying moon clips is going to be your best bet. The one thing I like about revolvers for training or getting yourself better, and basically this is all it comes down to is just trigger control, not the same firearm, but it's just because it is a very, very, very tough discipline. You have a longer double action trigger to deal with, okay? And it's every time. So you can see the light changing off the gun just from me sitting here dry firing it. There's a lot of movement from this, which is going to change your sight, which is going to change your impact. I really enjoy shooting a revolver, and I actually discipline myself. If I am not shooting correctly or if I'm shooting bad, I spend more time behind the wheel gun. I absolutely love it. Now, I will tell you guys, I want to show you everything in my safe, but what we need to do is we need to get to 1,000 subscribers. And I will give you a safe tour. Until then, once a month, I will show you a new gun until we get to 1,000 subscribers. And then I'll show you everything in my safe. And I want to continue on with this channel, and I want to try to make this like... it's not about pro shooting. It's not about defensive pistol shooting. This is just about the average day plinker, okay? I shoot for fun, okay? I don't really want to intend on shooting for anything other than that. Yes, I'd have trained and stuff for that, but I really, honestly, this whole channel, I want to base it off of just having fun. The thing I love about shooting is, bar none, is the competition. For me, is absolutely fun. I love shooting competition because it's fun, and I have camaraderie. My friends that I do it with, it's just absolutely just a joy to go out to the range and, poke fun and whatnot and have a good time. I've learned so much from doing this, and it is expensive once you get into it. It's like anything else, guys. You start dressing things up, pretty soon you got extended mags, mag wells. You just get a lot of things. You start, cutting your slides and adding in parts. This gun's been dressed up. This started life off as a Springfield Range Officer 9mm, and it's been basically de-gutted, and everything's been tuned up on it, and it's got a nice crisp 2-pound brake. It is super light, and I will show you. I have a trigger scale. I will show you what some of these trigger pulls pull at. I don't have the beaver tail pinned on this, but I've never had any problems with any of my beaver tail safety. So fiber optic fronts, you're going to see a lot of those on my firearms, just because that's what I like to use, and they work fine. And I use green fiber optics. Some guys use red. I like them. They're really quick to change out. One cool thing about fiber optic sights is that you can always make them brighter by changing them out. Sometimes they get dull or burned out. Where's your other sights? 3-dot white sights, probably my next favorite. I just like stuff that's bright and heavy to see. So, that's pretty much what I got for the video. Like I said, guys, 1,000 subscriber safe tour. If we get to 1,000 subscribers, we're almost at 200 now, which, I'm starting to put a little more effort in this, cranking out a video here and there. I know this video was kind of sporadic and all over the place. I have a lot of information that I could give, a lot of really detailed stuff too. Doing all the chrono work that I've done with ammo, I have a pretty good idea of 9mm. My 9mm with this bullet, actually with 9mm between 124 grain, 135 grain, and 147 grain, those are my favorite. And I found a lot of good load data for those, and I really like that. And 9mm is obviously my favorite round, I'm not going to lie. A, because it's cheap to shoot. B, it gets the job done. And C, it functions. I have very little problems with it functioning in almost any gun. It's not about ballistics for me. It's not about any of that. For me, it's about getting the bullet out of the gun at a good velocity and getting very accurate at the end of the day. I spend more time with that than I worry about the ballistics and all that stuff. Not something I really care about, really. It's just about, having fun. And that's why it's CP the Average Plinker and not CP the Professional Defensive Man. This isn't a defensive training ammo. This is no way in shape or form a channel that literally is giving you legal information. It's just about having fun and trying to keep you safe on the range. Safety is always a priority. It's always something that we need to be mindful of, and something that it goes right along hand in hand. This is a great sport if it's treated with respect. I love shooting, and I never was a big shooter. I love shooting now, and that's what so I want to pass. I want to pass my passion on to you guys and just tell you about what I've learned over my about 15 years, I guess, shooting. 10 years I started shooting competition, and not a lot of trophies, but I'm a big guy. So it took me a while to get those trophies, trust me, to get good enough to get those trophies to learn. Some guys are faster at it, some guys are not. So anyways, guys, that's what I got for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. It definitely got long, but I appreciate you stopping by. Remember, like, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell. We'll catch you on the next one. Get out in the range and do some shooting.